All right, so we saw something pretty special the other night, something that will go down in NBA history.
It really was a historic moment.
LeBron and Bronny James became the first father-son duo to ever play together in an NBA game.
It's crazy to think about.
We've got an article here called Timberwolves Lakers, 5 Takeaways as LeBron Bronny James Make History.
Interesting title.
And there's a lot to unpack here.
Yeah, where do we even begin? I mean,
LeBron's been playing at an elite level for over 2 decades now.
it's really unheard of, to have that kind of
Sure.
longevity at that level of play.
And then you have Bronny, who was drafted 55th overall, making his way into the league, sharing the court with his dad.
And it's pretty remarkable when you think about it.
It really is.
It's more than just a feel-good story,
Absolutely.
because you really have to look at it.
So, set the scene for us. Lakers versus the Timberwolves. Closing minutes of the first half.
Okay.
Lakers up 52-35. Bronny checks into the game.
What's going through his mind at that point?
And you can just feel the anticipation building in the arena.
For sure.
It's palpable.
Yeah, it's a moment that I think kind of transcends basketball in a lot of ways, wouldn't you say?
Oh, absolutely. We've all been watching LeBron's career unfold for over 20 years now.
And now to see him sharing the court with his son.
And now to see him sharing the court with his son.
It's wild.
It's like we're watching a passing of the torch in a way.
Almost like a changing of the guard.
The article mentions how the crowd just erupted when Bronny came in. Cameras flashing, cheers echoing through the arena.
Everyone wanted to capture that moment.
And it wasn't just a ceremonial appearance either.
Right.
Bronny nearly sank a three-pointer off a pass from LeBron.
Can you imagine if that had gone in? Oh, my goodness.
The place would have gone bonkers.
The electricity in that building would have been through the roof.
LeBron was quoted after the game as saying, and I quote, "Everything was just great today. I saw my daughter before she went to school, saw my son at work." What a unique experience that must be for him.
It really just kind of humanizes this whole event.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just about the stats. It's not just about like the historical significance. You have a father watching his son live out his dream.
And I think this whole father-son thing playing on the court together, it reminds me of another iconic duo.
Uh-oh. Who are we talking about here?
Ken Griffey Sr. and Jr.
Oh, of course.
Now they were actually at the game. They even took a picture with the James family.
What a picture that must be.
I know. The Griffeys made history back in 1990, becoming the first father-son pair to play Major League Baseball. And now we're seeing it happen over 30 years later in basketball.
It's like these echoes across different eras of sports. It's just these moments, they're so rare.
And it's funny, Griffey Sr. almost didn't even get to play with his son. The Mariners were actually trying to trade him away. He had a phenomenal spring training, and then all of a sudden, Junior gets called up.
Wow, it's amazing.
It's like fate intervened.
It makes you think about like how things could have played out so differently.
Yeah.
It really highlights the role of chance in these landmark moments. Like, what if Griffey Sr. had been traded? Would we be having this same conversation about the James family right now?
It's a really interesting point.
It really is.
But the Griffeys, they had some unforgettable moments on the field together, I remember watching these highlights as a kid. Back-to-back home runs, Junior catching a fly ball that was intended for his dad.
Yeah, those are special times.
Really special times.
And Griffey Sr. said something about their back-to-back home runs that always kind of stuck with me. He said, "I homered first, so all the pressure was on him. The count was 3-0, and I thought he would just get walked. The next pitch was a sinker down and away, and he hit it out anyway. He had to reach for it because he wanted to make it happen." It gives you a glimpse into that unique father-son dynamic, that unspoken pressure to perform.
Yeah.
It's really something.
Well, he also had this to say about the James family, and I quote, "It's just a legendary thing looking at those two. As a father, I enjoyed every minute of it, and I know LeBron did too.
Yeah.
But amidst all this history-making, let's not forget there was an actual basketball game happening.
Right.
And Anthony Davis, he was putting on a clinic for the Lakers.
It was unstoppable.
36 points, 16 rebounds, 3 blocks.
And a lot of that was against Rudy Gobert, a 4-time Defensive Player of the Year.
It was almost a mirror image of the Olympic final between Team USA and France,
where Davis also outplayed Gobert.
This raises a crucial question. Is this the season where Anthony Davis becomes the Lakers' true MVP?
He certainly looked the part.
Oh, he looked the part. I remember that block he had on Gobert, just swatted away his dunk attempt like it was nothing.
It was like he was playing a different sport.
That play right there epitomized Davis's dominance that night. It wasn't just the numbers. It was the sheer impact, the energy he brought to the court. He was a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to put it.
Now, on the Timberwolves side, things were a bit rougher, particularly for Julius Randle.
Yeah, he definitely had a tough night.
He hadn't played much due to injuries, and you could tell.
He looked a little rusty out there.
A little rusty.
Yeah.
The article pointed out his struggles with ball handling and decision-making, which have always been areas of concern in his game.
Right.
And it seems the rust from his time off, compounded by those weaknesses, really affected his performance.
It happens.
And the stakes are high for Randle this season. He's seeking a contract extension.
Good year for him.
Big year.
Yeah.
And with Karl Anthony Towns traded away, he needs to step up as a scorer alongside Anthony Edwards.
He's going to have to fill a big role.
He's going to have to.
Yeah.
And the article brings up a really interesting point.
Okay.
Randall's three-point shooting is just average. He's replacing Towns, who was a historically great shooter.
Yeah, that's a big difference.
That difference puts pressure on players like Dante DiVincenzo to improve their accuracy.
So it'll be interesting to watch how that unfolds over the course of the season.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And speaking of Anthony Edwards, he really had to shoulder the offensive load for the Timberwolves that night.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. It was like watching a one-man show out there at times.
He ended up with 27 points, but it took him 25 shots to get there.
Yeah, and that's what the article was saying.
Yeah.
How the Timberwolves relied so heavily on him for scoring.
Yeah.
And that lack of offensive balance, it's concerning.
It is concerning.
Because it puts so much pressure on him.
Yeah.
And it's not a sustainable strategy for long-term success.
No, it's not.
It's like asking a chef to prepare a 5-course meal with only one ingredient.
Right.
You need that variety, those different flavors to really create something special.
So if you're the Timberwolves coach, where do you go from here? What needs to happen to find that balance?
Well, I think for starters, other players need to step up.
Okay.
Guys like Randall,
Mm-hmm.
DiVincenzo, Naz Reid, Jaden McDaniels, they all need to contribute consistently on the offensive end.
Yeah.
It can't just be the Anthony Edwards show every night.
Right.
You need...
Gotta have some help.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a team sport.
It sounds like a real test for the Timberwolves this season.
It is.
I mean, they lost a key player in Towns.
Right.
They're going to need to find a new identity, a new way to generate points.
Absolutely. They're at a crossroads.
Yeah.
And it's going to be fascinating to see how they adapt. You know, do they try to replicate Towns' shooting prowess, or do they embrace a different style of play altogether?
It's a lot of questions, but I guess that's what makes this season so intriguing.
Exactly. There's
Yeah.
so much potential, so many different storylines.
Turning back to the Lakers, though,
Okay,
it feels like their success hinges on Anthony Davis.
for sure.
If he can maintain that level of dominance we saw in the opener, they're going to be a tough team to beat.
I agree.
I mean, there's no doubt Davis is the key, right?
I think so.
He's always had the talent, but the consistency has sometimes been an issue.
Right.
If he can stay healthy
If he can stay on the court.
and motivated,
Yeah,
the Lakers become a legitimate contender.
absolutely.
And let's not forget about LeBron, even in his 21st season,
Unbelievable.
still capable of making a huge impact.
He is. He's still got it.
I'm curious to see how LeBron adapts his game now that he's playing alongside his son.
It's going to be interesting to see how that dynamic plays out.
Will we see him take on more of a mentoring role? Or will he still be that driving force on offense?
Well, we've seen LeBron evolve his game over the years.
We have.
From this explosive scorer to this all-around playmaker.
Right.
And now with Bronny in the mix,
Yeah.
it just adds a whole new dimension.
It's like a family business where the son is learning the ropes from the master.
I love that analogy.
What a story that'll be to follow.
It is. It's incredible.
And it's something that, Griffey Sr. said. He was talking about watching LeBron and Bronny play.
Mhm.
And he said, and I quote, "It's just a legendary thing looking at those two. As a father, I enjoyed every minute of it, and I know LeBron did too."
Yeah, it really does.
It speaks to the universality of those moments.
It does.
Whether it's baseball or basketball, that bond between a father and son, especially when they share a passion for the same sport.
There's nothing quite like it.
It's truly special.
It is.
It makes you wonder what it's like for Bronny playing under such a bright spotlight.
Right. I mean, talk about pressure.
He's not just LeBron James' son, he's an NBA player trying to carve out his own path.
Exactly. He's got his own legacy to build.
It's a unique challenge,
It is.
but it's also an incredible opportunity.
Oh, absolutely.
He has a chance to learn from one of the greatest players of all time,
Mm.
to forge his own legacy in the same league.
It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
The pressure is immense,
No doubt.
but so is the potential reward.
That's for sure.
This deep dive has really opened my eyes to the layers of this story.
I agree.
We came in focusing on the historical significance of LeBron and Bronny playing together.
Yeah,
But it's so much more than that.
it is.
It's about family, legacy, the challenges and the triumphs of a new generation.
It's about the human element of sports, the stories that go beyond the box score.
We've seen a glimpse into the past with the Griffeys, witnessed a historic moment with the James family, and explored the potential and uncertainties of a new season.
It's been a journey, that's for sure.
And it's just the beginning.
Exactly. We're just getting started.
This season promises to be full of twists and turns.
Oh, absolutely.
And we'll be here to break it all down for you.
Every step of the way.
So buckle up and enjoy the ride.
That's right.
What do you think lies ahead for these two teams?
Well,
For Bronny James embarking on his NBA journey, what will this new generation of players bring to the game?
that's the beauty of it, isn't it?
Yeah,
We can speculate, we can analyze, but ultimately the future is unwritten.
that's right.
And that's what makes it so exciting.
Yeah, it really does feel like we're watching something special unfold here.
For sure. It's like watching a seedling sprout, you know?
Yeah.
We can see the potential. But we don't know exactly what form it's going to take,
Yeah.
how tall it's going to grow.
Right.
That uncertainty, it's part of what makes it so alluring, right?
Well, it is.
You just don't know what's going to happen.
This deep dive has really given us a lot to think about.
I agree.
The historical parallels, the family dynamics, the strategic challenges facing these teams.
Yeah,
It's amazing how much depth we uncovered just from one game.
it really is. It's a testament to the power of observation, you know?
Yeah.
Like digging beneath the surface
Yeah.
to find those hidden stories, those connections that might otherwise go unnoticed.
Yeah. I especially love that quote from Griffey Sr.
Yeah, what was that again?
He said, it's just a legendary thing looking at those two. As a father, I enjoyed every minute of it, and I know LeBron did too.
That's a good one.
It perfectly captures, I think, the essence of this whole experience.
It does. It speaks to a shared understanding, I think, a recognition of, just that rare and precious bond between a father and a son who get to, live out their dreams on the same stage.
Absolutely.
You don't see that very often.
It's been an absolute pleasure taking this deep dive with you.
Likewise, I've enjoyed it.
I feel like I've gained a whole new appreciation for the nuances of the game. The stories that unfold beyond the box score.
That's what we're here for. We're storytellers.
I guess so.
No way.
And as we look ahead to the rest of the season, who knows what surprises are in store?
Right. It's a mystery.
Will Anthony Davis maintain his dominance? Can the Timberwolves find their offensive rhythm? How will LeBron and Bronny's on-court relationship evolve?
So many questions, right?
So many questions. These are questions that'll unfold over the coming months, and we'll be here to explore them every step of the way.
Every week, we'll be back. New deep dives, new stories.
For now, I encourage you all to keep pondering, keep questioning.
Yeah, stay curious out there.
What resonated with you the most from this deep dive? What aspects of the game, the players, or the dynamics intrigue you the most?
Think about those things.
Take those curiosities, keep exploring, keep learning.
It's how we grow as fans.
That's what makes being a fan so rewarding.
Absolutely. That's it for us this week. See you next time.